honey, where are we and what are we doing?
Our Australia adventure started in Brisbane City, and our very first stop, after picking up our rental car and venturing onto the streets on the left-hand side of the road, was Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary.
So this is what the path to heaven looks like. Huh?
Exactly.
Koala heaven?
Yes. At Lone Pine, I fulfilled my lifelong dream of holding a koala, and I've linked that video below. Warning, I don't just cry, I ugly cry. But it was 100% worth it. And I did go back 2 other times and held a koala both times with no tears. Day 2 saw us return to Lone Pine for hold number 2. And more photos and videos, as our phones were at about 10% the previous day.
If you lived here, you live anywhere near here.
I'd be here every day.
Yeah, you convert lunch.
I would work here.
That's what you do.
That's exactly what I would do. And we then headed to downtown Brisbane City. On the recommendation of the office ladies at Lone Pine, we GPSed Noosa Chocolate, which was serendipitous as we ended up in the pinpoint center of downtown with lots to explore. We parked just off King George Square, home to Brisbane City Hall, as well as a number of statues honoring persons and events in Brisbane's history, along with an installation that was, well, less historic. We walked down Adelaide Street, featuring old school shops and historic buildings that took me back to my childhood and reminded us of the quaint downtown areas we love so much, including our own in California. It looks so cool.
This is going to be fun.
At the end of the street was Queens Plaza, and we went from old school barbershops and camera stores, yes, an actual camera store, to labels such as Prada, Fendi, and Tiffany. If you're finding this to be a Koalaty video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I'll be uploading more videos on our Australia adventure, including more detailed videos on our visits in Brisbane City. On the other side of Queens Plaza, we found Brisbane Arcade, the oldest arcade in the area. Now, before you think we were ready for some pinball action, an arcade in Australia is a small shopping mall. Basically, a single central walkway with stores on either side. Some have multiple levels, but they don't branch out like a traditional mall. Think Diagon Alley with a roof. We loved this arcade, which was built in the 1920s in a very obvious Victorian style. And oh my gosh, the Christmas decorations were next level. While our arrival day was my birthday in Australia, the following day was my birthday in the US. So Jeff found a florist and bought me a bouquet of Australian flowers. And yes, I am wearing a tiara, which I always do on my birthday. Now fast forward to the end of our trip and we once again were in Brisbane City. Now, koalas are not my only Australian obsession. For almost as long as I've loved koalas, I've also loved the Bee Gees. And wouldn't you know that there is a tribute located in Redcliffe, just outside of Brisbane, called Bee Gees Way. Redcliffe is where the Gibb family settled after moving from the UK, and the highlight of this installation, besides the music, were the life-size statues of the brothers both as teens and adults. Rumor has it that Barry was very involved in the design of these statues, making sure all the details were 100% accurate. The next day, I again visited Lone Pine, but before heading there, I went to the Brisbane Koala Bushlands in hopes of seeing a koala in the wild. While I did have a lovely walk, there were no koalas to be seen. As a matter of fact, there was no wildlife whatsoever in spite of reviews noting kangaroos to be plentiful. It was obvious that this area had been caught in the horrible wildfires of 2019, and I suspect that all of the wildlife that had been there either had been relocated or sadly perished. I do hope this area recovers in time. When I arrived at Lone Pine, I had 4 hours before my koala hold, which gave me the opportunity to really explore the other areas of the sanctuary beyond the 135 koalas housed there. They have a crocodile, cassowary, reptiles, bats, and these sweet dingoes. And of course, kangaroos. And I can't leave out these lizards that roam free and give new meaning to strike a pose. But in the end, it was all about the koalas. I have so many photos and videos, I think I could create a feature film. Back Back to the beginning of our trip, once we had a taste of Brisbane City, it was time to start our road trip to Sydney. On the way, we had lots of adventures and a lot more koalas. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single stop. Thanks so much for watching and giving this video a thumbs up, and I hope that you have a Koalaty day.